Well, if a regular hatchback isn't enough for you for your daily needs, then what you need to do is simply upsize and go plus. What am I talking about? It's the all-new Datsun Go Plus standing here beside me. Well, you know what I did with the intro there. Come, let's have a look at the interiors of this car first, shall we? Well, so here I am now in the rear seats of the Go Plus, and I've adjusted the front seat for my driving position and for my height, which for reference is 5'10", and as you can see, headroom is really generous, and I've got good amount of knee space as well. There's also a place to keep my feet at under the front seats, so good place to be. Also, because it's a very flat bench, you can generally sit somebody over here, and you have a 3-seat at the back. And the only issue is that the tunnel at the back is a little tall, so whoever's sitting here will have to, maneuver his way around for legroom. But apart from that, a good place to be. Of course, because it is a very, very affordable and budget-friendly car, you don't really get too many features. So even on this top-of-the-line version, there's no power windows. There's that old-school roll-up-the-window thing that you have to do on your own. And there are no pockets at the back to keep those files or knickknacks in. But apart from that, in terms of space and overall comfort, a pretty decent place in the second row of the Go Plus. You've been inside the regular Go hatchback. It's a very familiar place. So of course you get this central cushion along with the passenger seat. Now it's not meant to sit anyone over here. You're not supposed to have another passenger here. But of course it really does help to keep your wallet and stuff like that at. You also get this gearbox, which is of course not in its usual position. It comes flowing with the dashboard, and that's a good thing because it really does help liberate a lot of space over here. The only downside inside this cabin, the big downside rather, is the fact that this handbrake is still from the 1980s. I mean, I don't remember the last time I used a handbrake by pulling it out and twisting it, and that's very cumbersome to use and something Datsun should really look at. Now the Go Plus of course is going to be at the lower end of the market in terms of pricing, so do not expect too many frills from it. You get the basics, you get an air conditioning unit, you get power steering, and you get 2 front power windows over here. But apart from that, it's very minimalistic, it's very simplistic. Well, in terms of practicality, it's a pretty decent place to be. You of course get big bottle holders in the door bins. You also get this big tray over here. It's not got a lockable glove box, but there is a tray where you can of course really load a lot of stuff, and you can of course keep a couple of water bottles, few juice cans in, chocolates, and of course if you think that you need more space, there's always a tray right on top of where the glove box should be. Well, and in case you want to keep those chocolates away from the kids in your car, you can of course take them out from this little shelf and keep it close to you in a shelf near your driver's side. And that should ensure that you will not be hungry and always have something to eat on that long highway trip. Well, this is the big USP of the Go Plus, this huge boot that it offers, and really makes it an estate car and really aids the practicality of this small car. In fact, it's not really a small car. As you can see, there are 2 seats over here, but we flip them down at the moment. A lot of space. It's a big and square opening, which means you can really load it up all the way to the brim. And I'll ask my cameraman now to help me load this car all the way up and show you how useful the boot really is. Well, as you can see, I've put a couple of sleeping bags in it, a couple of tents, and a little bit of luggage as well, and there's a lot of place still left. Of course, if you want to increase the luggage carrying capacity of this car even more, you can flip the middle seats down, and that really does make it one of the best cars to transport your entire family's cargo for that long trip, or even shift housing. Well, but the usability and the practicality of the Go Plus doesn't really end there. If you're not an outdoor person, if you really don't enjoy going out that often and stay in the city, then of course you can remove all this luggage and pop up the seats at the back. You get 2 seats over here, which make it a 7-seater. Well, Datsun has given 2 seats at the back, but as I just mentioned, they're not really meant for adults. They really are meant for small kids. And remember, this is not really a 7-seater MPV, but a 5+2 hatchback. It really is a hatchback which offers you 2 extra seats, which really do make it a very practical and very usable small car. Well, so here I am driving the new Go Plus, and it comes with the same 1.2 litre petrol engine from the regular Go hatchback. Now this engine develops about 68 bhp of power and about 104 Newton meters of torque, and that really makes it a great car for overtaking. All you need to do is just throw it a gear down and press that accelerator hard, and the Go really does make brisk progress. Well, in terms of handling, the Go Plus's steering wheel feels pretty accurate and it's pretty responsive. And even though this is not really a car which you will be pushing into corners or taking it out on the track, it still offers a decent amount of fun for keen drivers, and that really shows you the amount of engineering that Datsun have put into it. Well, in terms of overall ride comfort, when you are on the highway, this car really feels very, very composed and very calm, and it doesn't have a jittery ride like some of its rivals in the hatchback category, and it feels like a much bigger car than what it is. Remember, at the end of the day, it is a sub 4 meter car, but in terms of the ride comfort on the highway as well as the city, it really displays a lot of character and feels like a much, much bigger car. Well, even in the city, the ride comfort is pretty good. The suspension is a very well set up unit. It's really well tuned, and it really does soak in those bumps very well. Where the Go also has the edge over most of its premium hatchback rivals is in the fact that it has a lot of ground clearance, and what that means is that you can take it on small off-roading duties. Of course, if you want to take it camping and want to have a night along a riverbed, this is a car which will take you off-road without too many issues. Well, the only little bit of issue with the car is the fact that it's not a very well insulated cabin. There's a little bit of road noise and a little bit of engine noise which does filter in through, but it's not really a deal breaker, and most people can easily get used to it. It's not that annoying and it's not really obtrusive. It's something which you can live with rather easily. Well, this people mover really does tick all the boxes as an affordable 7-seater, and even though it might not really be feature rich, it makes a lot of sense if you want something bigger than a hatchback but smaller than a big MPV. And if you want to know more about this car and its rivals, head to our website autoportal.com, and as always, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on this link above. It's bye for now, and hope to see you soon.